Blue Collar Fitness. What is Blue Collar?
Blue Collar is a mindset and attitude, and it's work that you can be proud of.
I'm Trevor Powers.
I'm Connor Burton.
And I'm Josh Sargent.
Whether you go to the gym,
work at the gym,
own the gym,
or if you're just a creeper pretending to do curls watching girls on the elliptical,
this podcast is for you.
Even you. And welcome to another episode of Blue Collar Fitness. What number we're at, I don't know. We'll figure that out later. We have Dave count up on his fingers.
Whatever episode we're on.
Hey, that's how I train clients. You know.
This
people
many.
Think it's an underrated skill to be able to talk, have a full-on conversation with someone, and then still know that you're at, rep 17. Okay, finger counting, it's a thing.
You count with your fingers.
So that if you forget counting, you look down
big
your hand
deal.
like, oh, 5 reps. Yeah.
Exactly.
Next comes 6.
But then if you are having a conversation and you do forget,
right,
you just throw out a couple more reps. No big deal.
More. And they'll be like, you said 5 more ago. I'm like, yeah, but it's too easy.
Guys. That alludes to a good quote by a very famous bodybuilder called Tom Platz.
Yeah.
One of his quotes is like, it goes, there's always 5 more reps in the gym. And look what happened to him.
Unless you're doing pull-ups.
Pull-ups,
I don't know what it is about pull-ups. You can just hit a wall. Like squats, even if it's heavy squats, you can somehow figure out a way to do another squat.
Mm-hmm.
But pull-ups, dude, when your body's done doing pull-ups, your body's done doing pull-ups. It's you can think you have like 10 more, and all of a sudden you've done like, you're at 10, you're like, oh, dude, I got 10 more. And then at 5, you're just
unless you do the body weight assisted pull-ups, the body weight assisted, get that weight pushing you up.
Speaking of toast, I'm giving a shout out to Anabolic French Toast. I just bought a cookbook by the doctor, Greg Doucette. He's not actually a doctor. He's got a master's degree in kinesiology. I feel like I cut you off there, Dave. Oh, okay. Speak louder. Can you hear me now, folks?
Hello.
It's called the Anabolic Cookbook. Now, if you guys have been living under a rock, you don't know who Greg Doucette is. But if you do, get his book. It's $99. Let me give you guys some things from it here, just real quick. Some macro-friendly recipes.
I like how it says real quick in the made dead air. Jesus Christ.
Well, let me pull it up here. I got
okay.
iPhone 7 over. No, iPhone 8. It's ancient. I got to update. I know. It's loaded.
Let me get this real quick. Hold on, it's loading with our slow ass internet.
Right. So, okay. So basically, I've had this thing for a week now, and I can tell you that I have been dieting on basically pudding shakes that taste just as good as those Sherry's pie shakes.
Sherry's pie.
I've been dieting on fat-free cheese pizza that's gluten-free, high-protein crust. I fed it to my roommate. She was like, oh, can I have some? She's anti-diet food, anti-whatever. And she eats it. She's like, oh, my God, this is so good. Trevor, we're talking Rose here, okay? She's like, this pizza is so good. How'd you make it?
I figured.
Fat-free cheese, sugar-free, fat-free marinara sauce, a high-protein, gluten-free cauliflower crust, and some turkey pepperoni. It tasted amazing. And it has the same macros as not even a half cup, quarter cup of rice and some chicken and broccoli.
Wow.
Let's go with some of the other recipes in here.
What if somebody wants to have dessert?
Just straight up dessert?
Straight up dessert on a diet.
Eva's Dunbar coconut. Oh, these are power bars. Let's go to the actual.
I would love to have a good power bar recipe.
The actual a power bar recipe, or so without giving up too much of his book, we want
sounds so good.
Get copyright infringement here. Have the good doctor call us
Yeah,
up
he's
like,
gonna be.
hey, you mother effer!
He's
Give away all my secrets.
Here's our customer service.
Only if it gets us more followers.
Okay,
that would be okay.
The one I made 2 nights ago was protein lava cake, and it only takes 2 minutes to make. 2 minutes. Oh. Okay, here's the macros. 175 calories, 3 grams fat, 5 grams carbs, 2 grams fiber, 32 grams of protein. And it makes 5 servings. So
Holy shit.
what's 5 times 32? Math whizzes, whatever that is.
Yeah, that's gonna be 96.
Oh,
that's 3.
Wow.
160.
It's
Okay.
it's
Trevor's the official math.
160.
Okay, so don't listen to Connor about math. So 32 grams
Just
of
ask me twice.
protein. It only has a few ingredients. Super easy. So you take 5 scoops of protein. He recommends his brand, obviously. I was using Quest. Quest is usually good for baking as well. You can use his brand Rise, RYSE, or Quest, either one. They're usually pretty good with baking stuff. So 5 scoops of that. You take 40 grams of cocoa powder. I actually was able to find fat-free cocoa powder, which tastes just as good. You just don't have all the extra calories. 1 cup of egg whites, half a cup of water, 3 packets of sweetener. I use stevia. My body doesn't like sucralose as much. And then here's the magical ingredient: 1 teaspoon of guar gum or xanthan gum. I believe that's how you pronounce it. And that just really thickens it and makes you full. Like I made a pudding shake today. I've only had 1,500 calories today. I made it at 230, and I put a tablespoon of xanthan gum in it. Made it so expand. It was so filling, dude. I'm like, my energy is low because but I'm not hungry. Like, my stomach is still working on digesting and getting through that pudding shake. So, great review there. Great product. Not gonna, give up any more secrets on, over the air here, but highly recommend the cookbook by Greg Doucette. Only $99. He doesn't, he doesn't sponsor us or anything. Just honest review here. Yes.
I feel like that brings up a pretty good point, though. Is people think that diet food is boring, but I mean, I feel like that stigma should be dead. That should be so dead.
Has fought weight problems all their life. One thing that I've really discovered lately is that I want to try and eat whole foods and healthy food. So when I make something, I really have a psychological problem of putting Splenda on it or putting some kind of chemical sweetener on it because I'm trying to live whole. How do you combat that? Like, what is your recommendation? Is it okay to have all these wonderful farm vegetables and you're trying to make something and then you add fake sweetener to it?
Get cancer, die shredded.
Oh my fucking
being shredded is number 1.
Okay, that was my answer.
That's the way to put it. We'll tape on that point. I would say like you mentioned, like, a lot of foreign stuff, like, vegetables and whatnot. So like,
yeah, like you go to the
sucrose it's a very synthetic thing.
Jelly.
I hear you. I mean, my body, I feel like it kills my gut biome to take in sucralose. Stevia, monk fruit. There's some natural low calorie sweeteners out there and you don't have to be taking it. I'm not somebody who drinks a lot of diet soda or likes to put too much crap on my food. But if you're in a deep calorie deficit, which should not be more than 16 weeks, then maybe you utilize some of those, quote unquote fake foods. But then once you get out of your caloric deficit, you're going to have a little more leeway in your diet. But here's the thing: if you're 45% body fat eating whole food, like, you're canceling out your health benefits of eating whole foods. Whatever you can do to get below, as a male, 20% body fat, morbidity is going to go down no matter what.
Yeah.
Even if you are throwing in those fake sweeteners, I mean, it's a wash. It's going to wash out. Like,
I took a bunch of epidemiology classes in college. If you're over, 30% body fat as a male, that's really bad for overall morbidity. If you can get below 20, you're healthy. You're going to
do what you can to get under 20 and then go from there.
Right. And you can be, I like whole food. I love natural whatever. But a lot of things like organic food is kind of a ripoff. It's a waste. A lot of this stuff is just marketing. A lot of health, a lot of health food.
I usually just go with like the Dirty Dozen.
Yeah.
And try and buy the dozen organic and everything else. I just get regular.
Right. Like if you talk to a farmer or a food scientist, they're going to tell you that USDA organic is really it's a marketing ploy. Everything in Europe is organic. There's no such thing as organic and normal because it's all organic. Whereas here, there are differences in how they market, but a lot of times it's the exact same thing, and they change like one process, and they're able to label it organic, and then they can mark it up 30%. So,
yep, that's something that is kind of shit with the USDA. I mean, they have like a certain amount of bad shit that they can put in our food, and they can still label it as something that's healthy. So it's like, I mean, there's been tests on certain. I mean, there's certain foods that have a shit ton of like pesticides and whatnot in them, but they're like a majority of the others. I mean, it's a wash. Like you could either buy organic or regular, and you're gonna get the same nutritional benefit.
Or meat too. If you guys have ever seen Super Size Me 2, where he does
I've seen the first one.
quote unquote free range chicken, where he has a 6x6 foot area basically over dirt that out of this huge warehouse of 100,000 chickens, that quote unquote free range. That's not free range, but he's able to mark it up as free range chicken, right?
It passes those regulations that
that
are like very corrupt regulations. It's not actual free range. They're not on a pasture eating whatever chickens eat, like bugs and whatever kind of like natural stuff they eat.
Right.
In Texas.
Unless you're out here in Texas, you got land and you got some chickens, some turkeys and shit.
Right.
Yeah, you got all that stuff out here. We actually just had for dinner a free range cow that we had on our property.
Oh.
We sent them to slaughter, and we know where it came from. We know what we fed it, and like it was a healthy animal. So I feel like if you really want to like go organic, you should just buy local. Like go to your local farmer's market or go to your local like what is it?
You can go to
like cattle ranch or whatever, and just buy a half a cow.
I have a big freezer in my garage, and I have bought 2 half cows. You have no idea how much meat that is, by the way. It's a lot of meat, and
it's a lot of meat. No, I've seen it. I have 3 cows out on my property. I know what that looks like.
The ground beef that I've got,
dude, it moves back at me.
It's from a free range cow that's grass fed, and I love living in Oregon because we can buy those things. I bought a half a pig one time, and she actually named all the pigs. And so
this is Beanie.
She gave you a list, and she's like, well, "Which one do you want?" And it had the name and its picture, and I chose the pig named Pete because that's my husband's name. I'm like, slaughter that one.
Oh, that's the way to do it. Hey, Dave, like while we're on the topic of food, you mentioned earlier for the listeners, the Dirty Dozen. It's not just the creative name, like it's talking about the Dirty Dozen talks about like what kind of foods.
Yeah, the Dirty Dozen is a list of 12 vegetables that absorb pesticides like big time. Like those are the ones I try about, like broccoli.
Yep, those are the ones
because of all the leafing and all, and it absorbs it all. So it does taste different.
But
There's
it's so
a
good.
Very big difference between the organic broccoli and the regular broccoli, but stuff like strawberries and tomatoes, asparagus are things that I try and buy organic. Everything else, I don't like.
Now, does organic asparagus also make your pee smell too?
Yeah, it does.
That's the worst thing during dieting is having that asparagus. And
like
20 minutes later, or for the next half day, you're going to be peeing this smelly pee. It's the worst.
It's funny because I had somebody ask me one time, they noticed a difference in taste. And they're like, well, why can't we just buy the flavor of the pesticide and add that to it?
Right.
Yes.
So I wanted to mention one thing. I think, Josh, you have done this before. It was, you mentioned to me, I think it was like making pancakes out of ground up oats, egg whites, and then a little bit of cooking oil. So I
actually make that pretty much every other day.
Yeah, and you don't have to have protein. So for the people listening, if you're gonna want pancakes and you're gonna want to make a diet food to meet your macros, get a coffee grinder, get some some old fashioned rolled oats, put it in the coffee grinder, grind it up,
Dude,
mix it up with
can I
eggs.
Just stop you right there. I'm the professional at this. So.
Let me finish. Let me finish. Put it in the bowl.
Goddamn Mike.
No. So you're gonna put.
I could
just
put
egg whites
turn
and egg
down
yolks
right now.
Mix it up. Spray the pan, and then put it on the skillet.
Somebody mute him.
Okay, so that's gonna taste.
Okay. What do you guys add to that?
Very boring, and it's gonna be flat. So, you can use this thing called baking powder, which is great.
Mm-hmm.
So that'll add some fluffiness to your pancake, and you don't need to get a coffee grinder. You can just do this all in the blender. So whatever your macros are, right now I'm doing a cup of egg whites and half a cup of oats. You put some stevia in there. You put some PB2 powder to make it. Yeah, some PB2 powder or whatever you want. You can do.
Oh, that shit's so good.
Not cocoa, peanut PB2 powder. You can do like a flavored protein, like cinnamon crunch.
Cinnamon's a good way to go.
Right, and I also put cinnamon in there no matter what. A little bit of cinnamon, the stevia, the PB2 powder, and then you want a teaspoon of baking soda. Just put it in the blender, man. Don't need to, and then you don't have to do any mixing. And then it whisks everything. Those egg whites get whisked. Like a high power blender, and it's fluffy. Amazing pancake, high protein, tastes great, and then you could just put some sugar-free syrup on it. Boom.
So it's probably cheaper than buying those damn Kodiak cakes.
Yeah, then
yeah, guys, Kodiak cakes they're great, but they have quite a bit of calories.
Guys like me that are glutarded, can't eat gluten very well. Those are the way to go.
So as Josh said, you can use the blender. It's a little more simple than my approach, using the coffee grinder and then mixing it up in a bowl.
2 ingredients.
What's that?
More simple with your 2 ingredients.
Not if you had stevia.
Okay.
If you hadn't have cut me off, I would have finished. But no, you're right. What's that one syrup? It's Walden Farms.
Yeah, Walden Farms works. There's a lot of them out there.
Syrup.
I've been using actually Walden Farms maple syrup right now, which is, I think it's better than their pancake syrup. But there you go. There's sucralose, right? So you could find a way to make it. I mean, I've made it without that before I had Walden Farms. I just put stevia on berries. Boom. There you go. So,
have you guys ever had that P28 bread?
Dude,
it's bread that has
it's in Greg's
whatever,
cookbook
like 27 grams of protein in it or whatever. Dude, that stuff is so good. Making like French toast with that, oh my god! That was my college go-to. I would make sandwiches with that shit, and like I would eat that daily. Oh, that stuff was so good.
I can't eat that.
I'll look it up. I'll look it up right now.
But so Greg has a recipe where he makes nachos out of it. So he takes the flatbread and he cuts it up with a pizza cutter into little chunks.
What the fuck? Oh wait.
Yeah, he's got.
Dude, I've seen his YouTube video of that.
You'd love it. And then he puts some Greek yogurt and some fat-free cheese on there. Boom. So I was like, man, how the heck am I gonna figure out how to do this? And then I was like, dude, Quest Nutrition makes protein chips. Boom. So I ordered 60 bags.
There you go.
Ordered 60 bags of Quest protein chips.
Protein potato chips?
Protein tortilla chips.
Tortilla chips, okay.
Yeah, so I mean they don't have corn or anything in them. They're just like whey protein and some binder, and they taste really good. And took me going to 6 stores and 60 miles away to find fat-free cheese.
I got me 3 bags of fat-free cheese. So now I can make a. That's actually what's for dinner tonight is nachos with some Quest chips, some salsa, and some fat-free cheese.
That's awesome. My dinner
Thursday
tonight
night
is gonna be
nachos.
Tacos. I've been on a 3-day juice cleanse, so I didn't eat Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. And I've just been doing the juice. It is amazing.
I need a
feel
fast
so
pretty
good.
soon here.
It's amazing.
Oof. No, my family eats very, very healthy because we like most of the shit we eat is off the farm. So it's all like, I mean, we're about to take 2 lambs to slaughter, and so we'll have those in the freezer. And then what else? Like all of our eggs and everything. And my mom has a giant garden, so everything's really fresh, and they love like keto low carb diets. So. But my gut, oh my god, all this protein is just destroying my gut. But I love it. I feel like I'm leaning out.
Kind of.
Kind of.
We need to do
Minus the bloat.
a photo shoot. I've got
Yeah.
some photographers that I didn't even ask, and they're like, "Hey man, you're starting a podcast. You need to do all your rebranding. Let me shoot you guys." So let's get
I'm
shredded,
telling
man.
people now. I used to.
Yes, stick on that.
Was it Josh? Or wait, what's his name? What's the dude's name?
Yeah, that's one of them.
His name's Josh, right? Yeah.
What were you saying,
He's
Dave?
a good guy. I like
I
him.
said, just for the photo shoot. Remember, I used to weigh 411 pounds, so I've lost over 100 pounds. So don't judge me.
Dave's a fantastic success story for a weight loss. So
I've had 3 good people who inspire me.
He
there
is.
you go.
We got your back.
Connor, you love to cook natural. I see you posting all the times of your cooking.
Yeah, cooking naturals was big to me. You know,
housewife
those what's that?
I said you're gonna make a good housewife one day.
Housewife.
She's
Only for you, Dave. Only for you.
She's gonna love the fact that you cook so much.
Dude, I went over to Connor's house one time, and he was like, "Dude, just let me make you some burgers." So I had a friend with me, and his roommate's there. He makes like 20 grass-fed beef burgers. Has like, how many hours did you spend cutting up those sweet potato fries?
Well, the whole process was like 3 hours, so half of that, an hour and a half.
He loves cooking, man.
Yeah, dude.
Homemade sweet potato fries, homemade hamburgers. See, he's got it.
That's why he's shredded all the time, and I get fat if I don't watch it because I'm eating out. This guy over here, he's cooking natural food all the time. So Trevor, tell us what's Texas like, man? How is it out there?
Steers and clears.
Great. I'm getting tan as hell. I am working my ass off. I love Texas. I love like the openness of it. Because my mom lives out here, like between San Antonio and Austin, and they have a home gym and stuff. Like, and they have like a lat pull down and like a squat rack and
Dude, it sounds
everything,
like
and
paradise.
like dumbbells all the way up to 100. So I mean, dude, what more could you ask for? Dude, I should have just come here at the beginning of quarantine, honestly, because I wouldn't have lost any of my gains. Yeah, well, we would have figured that out,
right?
But
So it's a prime.
It is what it is.
Oh,
Yeah, look, I looked at
There you
rings.
go.
Tell us more.
Looked
Tell
at
us more.
rings.
How's this
Yeah.
pre-engagement planning going, sir?
I mean, it's I mean, we
Gotta
already know.
spring it on her
Like,
at
she
the
knows
right
it's
time.
coming. I'm getting her. Yeah. It'll be. So she knows it's coming, but
And
the actual moment will be a surprise.
What day are you going to
obviously. I'm
propose
not
to
gonna
her?
be like,
Let's
hey,
announce it right
tomorrow
now.
I'm gonna propose to you.
How are we going to do it? She won't be listening.
Oh, whoa,
I
Yana
don't
might
know.
be listening.
What the
I
fuck?
know. I'm
We
kidding.
can't talk about this. What are you talking about, man? Shut
I'm
up.
not gonna say that shit.
I'm joking.
Shut your mouth. That's so funny. Yeah, dude, I love Texas, and I love the farm because of how healthy I can be here too. It's just like it's so easy. I could literally just walk out and go grab some eggs if I wanted to.
Your old house, you can just
So,
walk out and grab some
it's
Taco
dope,
Bell
man.
if you want to.
We know what happens when you eat Taco Bell.
Some
Toxic
shit
smell.
food.
It's
Yeah. Yeah, you blow up
Before that, you blow
every
up with
toilet within
inflammation, your
a
whole
5-mile
gut, your
vicinity.
stomach. Oh man, it's terrible. But dude,
Yeah.
when you're
That's something that a lot of people don't realize. Is like, oh man, I'm so sore, like my body's all messed up, and like it's like, well, dude, your diet is shit. Like, why? That's why you're so sore after a workout. Some
because of
people, especially people
overinflammation.
that eat like garbage. It's just like, dude, you eat like garbage, and therefore you're gonna be more sore because your body's just it's a
CBD
garbage
oil in
can.
the
You're
world
just
isn't gonna make
you're a
any
living
sense.
garbage can.
That's a good point, Josh. Like, eat good food,
No.
you have good
No.
gains, good recovery, good skin. And then there's a quote by Arnold. He's like, "If you don't want to look like garbage, don't eat like garbage." That's how that goes.
What's everybody's favorite fitness quote that you're thinking of right now? You got one, Trev?
Fitness quote.
I got one for you guys.
I got one.
Well,
All right.
Okay, I'm gonna go first.
Here we go.
I got one.
All right, this is a very common one. Curls for the girls.
Yeah. Okay.
I think the best one that I've been thinking of
Jesus.
that's helped a lot of my clients and myself is lift light weights like they're heavy so that someday you can lift heavy weights like they're light.
That speaks value for those lifelong strength gains, Josh.
Right.
Well said. Well
Good
said.
Form. All about the form.
Mine is you can never out train a bad diet.
Yeah.
Ooh.
So true. So
Or
true.
outrun a bad diet.
That's facts. No, mine. So I got two. Your only easy day was yesterday, or the only easy day was yesterday, and that's a Navy SEAL quote, and you could use that in life or training. And then my other one is mind over matter. I've used mind over matter since I was like 7 years old, like wrestling and stuff like that. Just keep pushing.
Exactly.
Just mind over matter. Tell your
Going
mind
back to
that
Dave's,
shit don't matter.
I was talking to one of my clients today. He's like, dude, every single time my Fitbit says I'm burning 1,000 calories in a workout here. Why am I not losing weight? And I think sometimes these wearables do you a disservice. So there's such a thing as watts. That's a really important factor in terms of how many calories you burn. And that's the actual, amount of kinetic force you're using with your muscles to be able to burn calories. If I have Lance Armstrong on a bike and myself on a bike, two stationary bikes, completely similar, right? If we're both going at X amount of watts, which is how much energy we're putting out, right? What do you think my heart rate is going to be compared to Lance Armstrong? Through the roof.
Higher.
Through the roof, right? Way higher, right? Now, Lance could probably put out twice as many watts, and his heart rate is probably going to be about the same as mine doing half as many watts. But if I'm wearing a Fitbit or whatever wearable, Apple Watch, Whoop, whatever, it's going to say that I'm burning way more calories because the only metric, the only data point they have is heart rate for basing on caloric burn, right? So it's going to look like I'm burning all these calories, but really Lance Armstrong's doing twice as many watts as me for the same heart rate, right? Like if we're not on stationary bikes, he's twice as far down the road as I am for the same heart rate. So are these wearables great? Yeah, they're great. They're good tools, but you ain't burning no 1,000 calories in an hour workout. Especially for weight training. If you kill it and you're a 200-pound dude, you might have burned 350. Or there's no way it's 1,000. And if people actually knew how, just because you train legs doesn't mean you need to go carb up and eat a whole pizza.
Mm-hmm. That doesn't make any sense.
You are absolutely no fun.
If you had a killer leg day,
leg day. Maybe you burned 400
You.
calories. Maybe. Okay. If that's like 90 minutes all out, killing it. You might have.
Why does the pizza go down so
Right, so
easy, huh?
One
Yeah,
pizza
explain
slice.
that.
Right. So if you're trying to burn calories, one pizza slice just destroyed all the, calories.
One
extra
pizza
calories.
slice is like 900 calories. It's
Right.
crazy.
It's a lot.
Unless you go buy some fat-free cheese, which is just all protein, 9 grams of protein per serving, with a nice low carb, high protein, high fiber cauliflower pizza crust. There you go, and it tastes, if you do it right, almost as good.
You know what you should do with your next Greg Doucette meal is with Rose. Don't tell her that it's diet food. Say like, oh, I just got this amazing food from a restaurant. You should try some.
I should just
get a reaction.
dress it up and put it. Well,
Yeah.
I did that with pizza.
You did not really?
I literally just said that.
Yeah. But you
All right,
didn't tell
everyone's
me
starting to
that
throw
you didn't
jabs.
tell
What
her
the
that
heck?
it wasn't diet food, but
Okay, let's go back on the recording.
Hey, Connor is not the only one that tunes out when Josh talks. I'm sure a lot of listeners.
yeah, my eyes just glaze over.
Yeah, I gotta get up early too.
Oh man, here we go. Another long rant by Sergeant. Hey, good thing I can slip.
Gotta roll with them punches, man. It's all good.
All right.
But,
Yeah.
well,
Thanks,
do you
listeners.
guys have
Thanks
anything
for
else to
tuning
address?
in.
I gotta get
And
up at 5 a.m. I
thanks for
gotta go do an
tuning in.
MRI on this
Words.
hip. Make sure
Yeah.
I
No,
don't.
you guys are awesome. This was a lot of good information. Thank you very much for sharing it, and I hope you listeners out there, I hope you appreciate it. And we're coming back next week, nice and strong too. So thank you so much for being here.
Absolutely.
Yeah, thanks a lot, guys.
Yes, sir.
You can find us
Sorry,
at
Josh.
Blue Collar Fitness Podcast on Instagram.
I think it's Blue Collar Fit Podcast.
Blue Collar Fit
On
Podcast
Instagram.
on Instagram. You can find Connor at Mr. Connor Burton. You can find Dave.
Dave.Shep.
Dave.Shep. You can find Trevor at T Chase Powers. And you can find me as Sarge Josh.
Sarge Josh.
Thanks a lot, guys, and we're coming at you next
And my
week.
diet brain is done.
And he's out.